I organise my resource files in terms of date of submission. I organise them this way as it's easier to find them and identify how they have changed and developed over time. I can identify weaknesses in my first resource files and change them so they are more useful and reliable as my recent resource files. I began in first year with 2 hard copy resource files on netball and football, which I still have on my desk today. As I converted them to Weebly in my second year, I transferred all of these documents from netball and football onto my Weebly, as well as keeping the hard copies. I found this a little difficult with some of the documents and PDFs that would not transfer straight over. I then created the rest of my online resource files in order of submission date, including gymnastics, cricket and touch rugby, followed by badminton, CPEP and volleyball. Then the most recent resource files I have completed include soccer, basketball, tennis and athletics. So within each resource file, I've continuously stuck with a similar content, except for gymnastics and CPEP, which required information on slightly different contents and contexts related to the specific skills. For the other 10 resource files I've completed, there are a general 7 subtitles, especially on my Weeblies, which include key teaching points, skill practices, game rules, game modifications, tutorial notes, extra material and references. Since my first resource files, they have definitely developed and changed slightly depending on what information I believe is more critical than what I did in my first year. Within each section includes important information that will come handy when teaching students on each sport, along with helping with preparation and planning during the term. I can refer back to my Weeblies and old resource files and have a look at the skills, the key teaching points, the extra material, all the rules, and just make sure I'm really on top of the sport. So I really believe Weebly is also a quick and online reliable resource to find activities and skill practice on the go if I'm a relief teacher or just need a quick and easy wet weather activity that I know will be in my resource files. One of the first resource files I completed was my football resource file, which I have here. As you can see, there is a similar contents page, but my resource files have developed quite a lot since this first one. So I have rules, key teaching points, additional resources, football skills, tutorial notes, lesson plans, matrix and references. They are slightly different to the Weebly ones. I have more information on the key teaching points and skill practices rather than just the basic skills, so more developed and have like progressions and regressions and just become better than I had in my first year. So the rules have been pretty similar. KTPs, they're pretty similar. As you can see, I've just got dot points and the title, but now I'm in my Weebly, which I'll show you soon. I've got more pictures and YouTube explanations to develop the understanding. In my extra resources, I've got wet weather activities and any other information that I think is vital to teach football, which is pretty similar to my resource files on Weebly today. In my skill practices, they're pretty similar. I've got a picture and the dot points, and same with my ones in Weebly today, except I've also got YouTube videos and other additional resources that have been used before and educationally based, so I know that they are evidence-based and have been used before, so I can rely on them. Then I have my tute notes. Previously in first year, I concentrated on writing more about the skills, the tactics, the strategies, just the whole lesson, where in second year we concentrated more on writing how they organise learners' equipment, space and time, and in third year we've learnt more about how to organise learning styles, changing it for different learners, ages, groups and the skill level, so my tutorial notes have changed quite a bit over the years. And then we've got resources, and in first year I had to do lesson plans and matrix. As you can see in this video of my resource files, firstly they're in order of submission date, and then in each resource files there is KTP, skill practices, rules, modified games, extra material and references, except for CPEP and gymnastics.